There is support building for the expanding of the college football playoff to 12 teams. Power 5 conference champions would get automatic bids, as would the highest-ranked team from the group of 5. That would leave 6 at-large bids in an effort for geographic equity. The underlying fear is that the country's getting tired of Alabama playing Clemson every year. Wilbon, are you for 12?
No, I'm not for 12. I'm not even for 8, not yet. And, Tony, I don't care when you start playing the playoffs and how many teams you include. You could have 64, and you could start at Halloween. When you get down to the Final Four right now, you're going to get Alabama and Clemson included somehow. So you're not going to get this regional diversity. You can get it in the first round. Who the hell cares? You're going to get the best teams at the end of this thing, at the end of January or the beginning of February, and it's going to be 2 from the SEC half the time and maybe 1 of the ACCs, particularly if it's still Clemson. This is just stupid. It's another money grab. I was always for the playoff. I'm still for the playoff. I'm for expanding it when it's time. It ain't time.
So I'm not going for 12 before they go for 8. I'm not going from 4 to 12. No. That's too big a jump for me. Let's look at this for a second. And, I mean, I understand what they're doing. I understand that you get a Pac-12 team in there. If I did 8, I would have the Power 5 conference champions all in, and I would have 3 at-large teams, and I would mandate that one of those teams had to be, one at least, from a smaller conference.
Yes.
But if you do this, you are adding 2 weeks of playoffs.
Yes.
It's possible that the teams that play for the championship, it's possible that they will be playing 4 games in the playoffs, Mike.
No, it's a
and
no.
If you play 12 or 13 games, including a conference championship, that's an NFL schedule.
Tony,
I'm not ready for this.
Well, you shouldn't be. This is good that you've, taken this position. Tony, and then what are they going to try to do? Say that, well, the regular season is only an 11 game. We're going back to that. So what about all the schools? And let's face it, football does produce, in most cases, the revenue we're talking about in the athletic department.
Yes.
So what are you going to do if you make teams play 1 fewer game? What's going to happen to their revenue? This is just, it's so greedy. It is so like the people who are the influencers in this space to want to do this, to make the big splash, to tie themselves to networks. Oh, yeah. It's just awful on every level to try to do this now, Tony, a few years after some of the same people didn't want any kind of playoff.
So I don't have any problem when Alabama and Clemson play if they're really good teams.
Me.
I get tired of Notre Dame getting blown out. I get tired of the Big Ten failing, but I don't get tired of Alabama because Alabama is really, really a great team. In this circumstance, let me just go to my notes for a second. What I would like to see is teams like BYU and Boise State and Central Florida have a crack at this. I understand it's a television show. I understand you want Western teams, and I understand getting a Pac-12 team in all the time. But going to 12, you're going to get teams, Mike, with 3 losses. This is not basketball. It's not basketball.
It's so bad, and I don't know who they'll listen to. I mean, maybe it'll be at the Super League, and people should just shout it down. But we don't shout anything down when there's more football in America. We don't.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.